It's time for another weekly pickup video where we're going to go through this little lot here and find out exactly what I got. So let's do it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome to, yes, another weekly pickup video where we take a look at all of the physical media items that I got this week. So that could be special collector's editions, steelbooks, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, bootlegs, whatever it may be. And I have a small stack here, so we're gonna not waste any more time. We're just gonna get straight into it. But before I do, if the lighting seems a bit off, it's because my ring light has sort of failed on me now. I've got a new one coming to illuminate things a bit better. But yes, let's just get into what came. So no particular order here whatsoever, as it's stacked. We'll get into it. So the first up is a couple of bootlegs actually. First bootleg I got is the Justice League of America movie. Yes, this is from 1997. It's a Justice League movie that good chances you've not seen it. It was actually made for TV and it was a pilot to go into series, only it never went into series. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman do not star in it. It's headlined by The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, characters like that. And yes, it's one of those sort of things that has never been available in physical media. You've had to get it through bootleg. As I recall seeing it almost 25 years ago, it's atrocious, but superheroes, and I like even the failed projects I get an enjoyment from in a weird sort of that's disaster kind of a way. So yeah, the Justice League of America. If you've seen that, let me know. Next up was a new film that came to Amazon Prime, I believe, and that was Totally Killer. Yes, Totally Killer, which was the slasher time travel movie, much akin to movies like Happy Death Day or Freaky. It plays in that sort of same ballpark, and it takes a different concept which is usually played for fun or something, and turns it into a slasher type of a movie. Now I do think that this film is weaker than the other two films I mentioned just then, but it is much akin to those, and I had fun with it. I didn't mind it. It travels back to 1980s where these killings have taken place, to try and stop the killings from happening. But yeah, so yeah, it was okay. It was all right. I had fun with it. Next up was a DVD pickup, and I got this cheap from CEX, and that was Doctor Who and Unearthly Child. Now what's made me, this is the first ever Doctor Who story, what made me pick this up is the rights issue that's going on with it at the moment, and it not being able to be screened on any streaming network or anything like that. I don't delve into Doctor Who before the 1996 Paul McGann TV show, or a film I should say. Not because I don't enjoy Doctor Who from that era, I do, just there's so much of it. I'm not, you know, a good starting point for me is 1996 and just go forward from there. I do have the Doctor Who movies with Peter Cushing. I do have those, and I have a K9 movie from that era, but beyond those I don't really have any Doctor Who. This is the only Doctor Who I have from Doctor Who of an old. I'm not getting any more. No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole of Doctor Who. Next up, I was looking for this, and it's this is an Australian import one, and it is Scary Movie 4. Yeah, the fourth Scary Movie film. Now, I have Scary Movie 3, or 3.5, whatever you want to call it, on Blu-ray. I do not have Scary Movies 1 and 2. They're not films I really like, really enjoy. I preferred Scary Movie when it hit 3 and 4, because it was more of that naked gun airplane humour, and less of the crass kind of humour that you get in the first two. Not to say there ain't laughs to be had in those first two, just I think that the humour's far more clever when you hit 3 and 4, because it doesn't rely on a lot of that crass stuff like I mentioned. Scary Movie 5 is a film that I've never seen. I attempted to watch it. I think I turned it off about 15 minutes in. It was bad. Although I expect that its runtime isn't much more than that 15 minutes that I saw. They tend to be very short movies. So yeah, so like I said, Scary Movie 3 I have. Now Scary Movie 4 to go with that. DVD time, and I ordered this ages ago, and it is for the Martin Scorsese movie, Nicolas Cage in Bringing Out the Dead, the sort of ambulance New York one. This is a film, again, that I've not seen for a long time. I remember it being very dark back in the day. I don't remember much about it, much like 8mm. I sourced that on DVD as well a short time ago. But yes, I thought I'd get it on DVD. There's no Blu-ray release. I like Nicolas Cage, I really do. He gives a great performance in pretty much everything he does. Sometimes over the top. And I thought, you know, I'll give this one a go. I'll revisit it. And why not? Next up, it's Steelbook territory. And we have the 4K release of the biggest release of the week, which is the biggest movie of the year, Barbie. Yes, life in plastic is fantastic, so they say. So yes, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in the Barbie movie. I watched it the first time, I sort of enjoyed it but wasn't sure on it. Watched it a second time, enjoyed it far more, and thusly obviously I picked up the Steelbook. Yes. But not only did I pick up that Steelbook, I picked up the Blu-ray Steelbook as well, because I wasn't sure which one I wanted, which one was best. There's elements of both that I think is better than the other in design and this sort of a thing when you take it a look at it as a whole package. I ended up keeping both. I was going to send one back with the disc swapped out. Yeah, no morals, but there we go. So I would have had the 4K disc anyway, but in whatever Steelbook. But I thought, you know what? I'll end up keeping both of them. Why not? Let's support the industry in its dying days. I can't say I don't support them. There we go. And another one, this one arrived late. It actually did arrive last week, but I didn't do nothing with it. I didn't do an opening of it until earlier this week, and that was for the Memento Special Edition. Steelbook within. It's a Blu-ray, not 4K. It's a nice edition, but I was quite critical of it in that at its price point, I feel this should have been the 4K release, not a Blu-ray release. And even though it's got some nice booklets in there, things like that, it also has one hell of a lot of paper tat, which is relevant to the film, but literally it's scrap paper. It's scrap paper, so it highlights this release here for me highlighted the overpricing of this sort of stuff, highlighted the reality of some of the quality that you get within, and then highlight the reality of some of the crap that you actually get given within these kind of releases. I'll show you what I mean if you didn't see my opening of it. Okay, I will. Okay, first of all, I thought it was a bit odd that the second disc came in an envelope like so. Okay, the envelope's relevant to the movie, I get that stuff. They tried to do something with it, but when you open the Steelbook and you're like, hold on a minute, there's a disc missing. There's meant to be 2 discs, there's only 1 bloody disc in here. Without having seen another opening or read about it properly. So when I say quality stuff, okay, so you get the short story that the film is based upon by Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother. That's good. Yeah, that's a nice addition, certainly is. And then you get a production booklet like so, both square bound these are, you know, with writings and pictures in, that sort of a thing. Again, that's good, that's great. I like that sort of stuff, I really do. And then you get to this here. And although, like I said, this stuff in here is relevant to the movie, you do get a cardboard coaster, right? Which, yeah, it's just tripe, right? You get some nice little Polaroid images, which are, you know, cheap to produce. But then you get to this sort of stuff, and like I said, although relevant to the movie, these are essentially really are just scrap paper. You know, relevant to the movie, but it is scrap. It is just, you know, and this stuff here must cost pennies to produce, and it just highlights the how overpriced some of these editions truly are. So yeah, obviously I've kept the edition. It's I wouldn't not. Now, like I said, at its price point, yes, it should have been a 4K release in there, but it's not. It's just a Blu-ray. That's the probably most disappointing thing about it, and I'm sure people are gonna sort of sit back and wait for the inevitable 4K release as it is, which will no doubt come. I shan't replace the film. I won't sort of then say, oh, now I've got to pick up the 4K because, you know, the picture quality is just marginally better. Let's be realistic. It's with some 4Ks we're talking marginally better, but at the end of the day, it's still the same film we're watching. And how often you're going to watch these films to really care? That's the other question. But yeah, anyway, so that's Memento, and you know, a nice release. And next up we have the biggie for the week. Although Barbie biggest release of the year, biggest release of the week, we had this lovely special edition Exorcist box set. This is the really super expensive one. Now, like a lot of people, I was unlucky with this. I was in that I had a pre-order in place, sat in place with Amazon, and they didn't fulfill that order. It changed from being delivered on its day of release to delivery date pending. We'll let you know when we get it in stock, right? It's limited to 2,000 worldwide. I believe the number is 2,000. But what I believe Amazon have done is they've oversubscribed. They've oversold, much like what happens with airplane seats at times. They oversell, which is disgusting, which I think is a disgusting practice. I really do. There's no reason why loads of people would go to that kind of a status of delivery pending if that wasn't the case. Yeah, now luckily Lee Ills, thank you very much, Lee, he got a couple of editions of it, because the way Lee works is he will buy a couple of editions of everything because of the potential of damage in transit, or a damaged one from the warehouse. With items like this, if you receive a damaged one, you're not getting it replaced. You're not getting a replacement for it. You've either got to live with the damage that you've got, an inferior product. Okay, you get a refund a lot of the time, but you want something pristine, of course you do. So what Lee does is he gets a couple, he then sells on the additional one to someone like myself who missed out on it. And no, it's not any different than cost price. It's at cost price. So he said, do I want it? Because he knows the situation with mine. I said, of course I do. So I rushed over to his, because Lee lives only less than 4 miles from me. Rival schools we used to go to. He's probably beat me up many a time when I was a kid, in the sense of, I'm not joking. Our schools were, next to each other almost, and there was a certain rivalry that you got back then, where it was like, that sort of thing occurred. It did back then. But yeah, so thank you very much for that, Lee. Indebted to you indeed for that. Truly thank you. And it was great meeting you as well. What can I say? I wouldn't have had it without Lee in that sense. Now these, unfortunately, the other thing with this is that they were scalped as well. A lot of people bought these to sell, to make money on, and again, I think that's a disgusting practice. Now, I think that Amazon should limit one per customer. I'll be honest, I think they should go that way. But then part of me says no, because okay, Lee got a couple of them, right, which goes against what I've just said, but then Lee passes on to someone who missed out. So they do go to end up to someone else. So if that was the case of one customer, would I have got it or wouldn't have got it? I don't know. I got it because of Lee. So no, let's keep going the way we are. I don't know where I sit on that really, but I have seen on eBay someone selling 5 of them in one sale. 5 in one sale. Now that is disgusting. That is, you know, someone's got 5 of them sent to them and they're selling it for, I think it was like 550 quid I saw it on there for 5 of them. They're £70 a pop. So if there's any scalping going on, there we go, that's it there. Do you know what I mean? Disgusting. The most disgusting thing about that is that whoever, Amazon, you sent in 5 copies and you've let other people down. You don't give a toss. You don't care about who you send them to. You really don't. And it's that part that infuriates me more than anything else in a scenario such as this. But there we go. They're the items for the week. That's all of them. That's me done for another one. And I'm looking around my room and it's like I'm losing floor space. I've got films piled beside me there. I've got packaging of stuff where I've had post piled up there and piled up here. I really should take the time out to I'm really bad at this sort of thing, at tidying up in this room. I can't just step over until it gets a bit like, oh, that's a bit too much, let's sort it out. Really, I need to do that today. But there we go. So that was it. That's me done. I shall see you all on the next one. So take care all. Have a great Halloween actually, because Halloween's coming up. Do you have any plans for Halloween? What films are you going to be watching over Halloween? Let me know in the comments down below if you have a specific go-to film for the day of Halloween. Me personally, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of Halloween. Okay, I know I've got a little setup behind me where I've sort of made a little bit more horror related with the Jason mask and the Book of the Dead and the Freddy glove there, but Halloween's not really a biggie for me. All the kerfuffle over one night is, you know, when the kids were younger, yes, I used to do Halloween for them. I enjoyed it. I used to, you know, dress them up, make them up, and it was a lot of fun. It was. But that's kind of reliving through them again, if that makes sense. But when they got to that age where I came to the realisation that I don't have to do Halloween anymore, it was fantastic. It really was. It was great. Just sit back and let everyone else do it. Same as like I don't do Guy Fawkes Night. I think that's a horrendous time, especially if you're a pet owner. You know, I honestly think that fireworks should be banned. Completely banned, other than at organised events. I wouldn't take them away from organised events. That still has an impact on animals as well. But it's when you're in an area that's filled with people, you know, just trying to sleep, whatnot, residential area, and you've got people setting off bangers and fireworks all night long. It's hideous, it's horrendous, it scares the crap out of animals. In some cases it even kills animals. They have heart attacks and stuff like that. I think that fireworks should just be knocks on the head and just done in the open, outdoors, in an open space, by, you know, firework places, things that are set up. That's my fault on that one. Anyway, I'm going because I'm rambling yet again. See you on the next one.